Hey y'all, it's your girl Desiree, and welcome back to another Discussions with a Mom, Motherhood, Marriage, Mindset. How y'all doing today? I hope everybody doing well. Happy whatever day you're seeing this on. Today we speaking on relationships, okay? I have been married for 2 years. I've been with my husband for 3 years now. And I am a one-time divorcee. So who better to give relationship advice than someone who has been divorced? Because I've also been through a lot. I've been in a few romantic relationships and I've learned so much. And one thing that I learned over the years is how to love someone into being better. As in, I can love you to the point where I make you better. And I mastered that. Okay. And I just wanted to get on here and I want to talk to y'all about it. So let's get into it. I like to say I talk to the people that want to stay in a relationship, or in some cases, like my case, you want to stay in your marriage. I do truly feel like marriage and just a regular relationship, like a regular romantic relationship, two different things. Because you better lead that man, okay? Because I'm sitting here and tell you, girl, you better lead that man. Because I am not a stayer. I'm really not. Like, I wouldn't consider myself a stayer. However, I will stay to the point where I've tried all I could do for you. That's dangerous to a certain extent, but I look at it as it's a reason why I'm here. So even if me and you don't work out, I'm going to get a lesson. I'm going to get a lesson of what I don't want in my next relationship. That's why I say I talk to the people that want to stay. You ever been to the point where you with this man or you with this woman, whoever watching me, and you like, I can see so much potential in you. Like, I can see that you can be so much better in order for us to stay together. But that's where it gets dangerous because potential is just that. It's potential. You cannot love someone into becoming better. They have to want to be better. I don't know what y'all thought I was going to say. But yeah, you can't love nobody into becoming better. They literally have to want to be better in order to stay with you, in order to be with you. And you too, like, you got to be better. You got to want to be better in order for y'all relationship to get to the next level. I'm pretty sure this is really close to a next level of emotional connection. But this can be a next level of intimacy, a next level of physical stuff. You just have to want more. You have to be willing to do more in order to get more. And that has to be through both parties, not just one person. Because you will look up and you just trying so hard to understand this person. I want to be on the same level as you. I want to get to where you are. It's just sometimes that you just can't. Like, I want to get to the point where you see the potential that I see in you, but that's your vision. Can't nobody else see that. That is only your vision. And then you will look up and you'll get to the point where you will feel like a relationship therapist almost. Because you giving all this advice on what to do. You even giving the advice on what to do for you. Like, you be like, I really need, like, this is how I see this going for me. You can have that conversation with somebody, but if they just don't see it how you see it, there's almost nothing you can do about that. But if you want to keep being with that person, and you just think to yourself like, oh, I just know just one day you gonna get there. If them not seeing it from your perspective is making you feel neglected or making you feel something in a negative light, you have to stop giving that person so much grace. You have to really look at that person and be like, okay, I can't keep allowing you to do this to me. This is not fair to my emotional state. Or if it's intimate, this is not fair to my intimate state. So I cannot continue to let you do this. And especially if it's emotional, you carry so much of the emotional weight that it gets overwhelming. You'll be overstimulated trying to get the other person to see their potential. It will drive you down. Like, take you somewhere you just don't want to be. And that's also why I say you can't give so much grace in these moments, because it's only so much grace that I can give you while I'm trying to tell you to be better in order for us to stay together. After so long, I gotta stop enabling you. Like, after so long, I gotta make you see that, oh, we can't keep doing this, okay? And if I'm gonna stay with you, this is how I gotta operate until you get your shit together, basically. And to a certain extent, you really have to ask yourself, like, if this person does not change, you could say in the next 2 years, would you still be happy? would you still be happy with this person not seeing the potential that you know you see in the other person? Because it will get lonely. If you want to stay with somebody solely because you know for a fact if they just got off their ass on their feet and they did what you need for them to do, y'all will be better. It'll be so lonely because this is your vision. Mind you, they don't see it like that yet. So you're gonna be neglected. You're gonna at some point you're going to be over explaining your needs. And honestly, that is a very chaotic thing to do. So yeah, you have to really ask yourself, like, if nothing changes in the next 2 to 5 years, would I be happy where I'm at? That is the only way you can love somebody into being better. Asking yourself that question. And I mean, to the people that's just not in a marriage yet, I'm about to tell you some things that you can do that would stop this before you get married. Because these are actually things you need to look at before you marry the person that you with. Number one, stop dating potential. If you trying to be with somebody and you got 7 boxes that need to be checked off, if all 7 of your boxes are not checked off, don't worry about it. And I mean, you do have those rare moments where all your boxes are not checked and you like, they ain't checked yet, but I know they can get checked. That only works with a willing partner. That only works with a partner that wakes up and chooses you every day. That only works with a partner that don't try, they do. I hope y'all heard what I said, and I hope y'all hear what I'm not saying. Stop accepting the bare minimum. I actually had a very hard time with this at one point. At one point, I really was accepting the bare minimum of my standards. Honey, I could sit up here and tell you, I am most definitely a person with very high standards. And yes, it came from my upbringing. It came from the fact that somebody instilled in me high standards. And then I went into the world and I was like, oh, I ain't gonna get that. Oh, it'll take me forever to get that. Oh, if I just find me a man that, he just willing to listen. He willing to listen and I was accepting bare minimum and I was not okay with that. So you got to stop accepting the bare minimum. And if it just gets to a point where you are with somebody that you want to stay with, you want to stay with them because you see the potential, you have to stop accepting their piss poor behavior. You have to start paying attention to the patterns. You have to start believing in actions. Don't take nobody's word for it. Don't sit up here and be like, well, he said he was going to, work on it. Keep your standards high. You expect someone that if you tell them one day, like, hey, I really need you to do this because the way you're doing is not working for me. If you look up and that person still doing the same thing 30 days from the time you told them, get on their ass. It does not take long for change. You can literally wake up the next day and start being a different person. Stop accepting the bare minimum. Learn the difference between support and self-sacrificing. You can support somebody all day. You can sit up here and you was like, okay, well, if you really do want to change, you really do want me to keep loving you until you be better, I can support you. However, I cannot sacrifice self. Meaning, I'm not going to accept your piss poor behavior. I'm not going to accept the fact that you're taking 5 days to do something about it. I'm not going to accept the fact that when you do mess up, you don't bring it back and be like, you know what, I got it wrong. I'm not going to accept that. At the end of the day, it's going to be a no. Because helping somebody get to their higher self is really draining. It will take an emotional toll more than an emotional mental toll more than anything for you to do something like this. Because at the same time, there's a possibility that you will lose yourself. And once again, no self-sacrificing. If you want to stay with this person, if you want to be, the person that stay, no self-sacrificing. And speaking of things that also have to stop telling adults how to be adults. I don't even know how to explain it. Like, I say that all the time. Stop telling adults how to be adults. That is not your job, okay? That is their mother's job. And you are not a mom. Well, I mean, if you're a mom, you're not a mom to that grown ass man. You are a wife. Moving along. Stop accepting all that hot and cold behavior. Stop normalizing the piss poor behavior. Don't accept lack of communication. If you're going to stay because you see the potential in someone and they have a communication problem, that's something you can see in a relationship. That's something you can see in a friendship. Like, you can sit up here and say, hey, I know for a fact you can communicate better. I know for a fact that, our communication can be better. And if the communication is not getting better, every time you see a lack thereof, you're like, oh, I'm just going to give him grace. He's trying. Oh, I'm just going to give her grace. She's trying. It's going to be a no. Once again, it's going to be a hell no. Stop accepting that. You have a lack of communication. And until you figure it out, I cannot accept this from you. So whatever that looks like through me, that's what it's going to look like through me. You making it hard for me to stay, but I don't want to leave because I see the potential in you. So get it together. And last but not least, if this is something that you really want to do, you are going to have to heal your self-worth outside the relationship. Because like I said, this can be very draining. This can be something that'll make you lose yourself. And you have to be so grounded in who you are that even though that person messes up, you won't. Even though that person hasn't done anything in the past 30 days, that will not reflect on you. That is something very hard to obtain. It's not as hard as you think it is, but if you're not emotionally secure with yourself, that is probably going to be one of the hardest things you ever had to do in order to stay with your person because you wanted to see the potential in them. And again, if you want to be the type of person, if you are the type of person, or if you're currently going through it right now, because talk about things that I know because I've been through them, you cannot force growth onto another person. It just will not work that way. And sometimes you got to remember your path is just that. It's your path. But this is equivalent to loving yourself and being honest about what's going on in your relationship. And that's what I'm going to leave y'all with. Go ahead and like, share, subscribe to the channel because your girl is here to stay. Hype this video up. I don't know if I got that. So I'm gonna keep saying it until I get it if I don't have it. But I love y'all and I can't wait to see y'all in my next discussion.